What's going on, Schmidt heads? Welcome back to another week of Undercover Picks. I'm your host, Jojo Suave. This is where we pick every NFL game every week against the spread. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Let's get to it. Week 14. Now, we sit at 102 wins against the spread. That's pretty good. That's 53% on the year. So if you picked all my games, you're winning money. If you picked all my money picks, we are back at even. 23 wins, 23 losses, but 3-0 on Sunday. So maybe, just like last year, we're going to hit a hot streak. That's what I'm hoping for. I only got 2 money picks this week. A lot of games I'm feeling confident on, but not confident enough to throw my money on. So only 2 money picks this week. Let's see if we can go on a 5-0 money pick run. And just like last year, this is the last week with buys. So there's going to be 16 games a week for the last, 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 weeks. We will have full weeks. So I'll probably do at least 3 or more money picks on all those weeks. And let's get it. Last week we started off bad. Quick recap. Thanksgiving and Black Friday, got them all wrong. Went back to the lab, really thought hard, picking all my games. Pretty much called the whole week right, except for one game. Why can't I remember it? The Jets and Falcons we got wrong, but I pretty much knew that game was going to go the way it did. It just... the wrong team got the game-winning field goal at the end. But anyway, we ended off the week 7 for 11. So another week where we didn't go below 50%. Only 2 weeks this year where we did go below 50%. One of those weeks being 7 for 15, so not too bad. The other one being 4 for 16. We've really only had one bad week so far this whole entire year. Before I get into my picks, just real quick, how many so far? We started the year 10 wins, 10 wins, 4 wins, 10 wins. Then it's just been 8, 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. So we're either on the brink of collapse or a really good week. And for so many weeks straight, we've been left in about 7 weeks straight. We've been left in limbo, not knowing if we're gonna hit a good week or a bad week. I think we're close to a good week, considering my past and how I pick towards the end of the year. I always do pretty freaking good, and I plan to continue to do that. So let's get to it. I'm gonna go through these picks quick. I am posting this video super late, the holidays and all that. And I need to make these videos shorter than an hour. I need to get back to 30 minutes. That's where I used to be at. That's what we're going to do. We're already at 3.5 minutes, so let's get to this. First game, Thursday night, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Detroit Lions. Lions are minus 3.5. That's tough, man. Dallas has been killing it. Lions have been looking flat. It looks like Dan Campbell shouldn't be calling the plays on offense. And Dallas looks like the easy pick here. But as easy as they look, I'm going to pull the trigger on the Detroit Lions. They really need this win. Dallas, this is them every year. They start off bad. Then towards the middle / endish of the year, their fans regain hope that they're going to pull something out of their ass because they're looking like a good, competent team again. And it's going to be the same old story for the Cowboys. But I'm worried about that. It's a Thursday night game. Odd, though, both these teams got a full week rest since they both played on Thanksgiving. I don't know. I think Dallas should win this game. They should make it easy, but something tells me Detroit pulls it off. They haven't lost 2 straight games in almost 3 years. And, that means they're due to lose 2 straight games, too. So that's why I'm staying away from this game, not putting my money on it. But I got this gut feeling Detroit wins and Detroit covers. I'm gonna check in on the Amon-Ra St. Brown injury. They say he's game time, so that is another thing that makes this game extremely difficult to pick. If he plays, I feel really good about my pick. If he doesn't play, I'm gonna be crossing my fingers for 60 minutes. Well, more than 60 minutes, but each quarter, I'm gonna be holding my breath and just hoping things go my way. I'm not gonna be feeling too good about my pick, but I'm picking this, hoping he plays. We're getting towards the end of the year. They need to win games. They're going against what should be an easier defense. Dallas has been stepping it up, but and their offense is definitely top tier, probably top, arguably, they're definitely in the top three between them, the Rams, and I don't know who else. There's other good offenses out there. I don't know if I want to say my Pats, but yeah, there's offenses scoring almost every drive. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit to win, Detroit to cover, and I got a good feeling this game is going to go over 54.5 points. Next game, Sunday, 1 o'clock. We're doing good. We're getting a lot better with these Sunday 1 o'clock games. We were doing bad at the beginning of the year, but now we're up to 52%, 49 out of 94 picks. So let's get to it. Seattle at Atlanta. Atlanta is plus 7.5. I'm going to go with Atlanta here to cover, Seattle to win. Atlanta has been scoring a lot of points with all their issues and how they're losing. They're still putting up 23-plus points a game, every game, so their offense can still score points. This is another game where I got an injury alert. Pay attention to the Drake London injury. If London plays, same thing with St. Brown, I'm feeling a lot better about this Falcons pick. If he doesn't, then I'm hoping they can still put it together because Seattle's offense hasn't looked too great the past 2 weeks. Vikings defense was able to pretty much shut them out. If it wasn't for the Vikings' terrible offense, that would have been a much closer game. Seattle didn't look impressive. Jackson Smith and Jigbo was stopped for the first time all year, so maybe teams figured him out or whatever. Sam Darnold is looking a little shaky. He doesn't look as confident. He's not as accurate. He's starting to fall off a little bit. I don't think he's like going back to Jet Sam Darnold, but he's starting to fall off just a little bit. I am worried though. Seattle is totally capable of blowing out this Atlanta team. Atlanta's gotten blown out so far this year a couple times, but Kirk Cousins hasn't looked all that terrible. He's only got one interception so far this year. He's so far being a good game manager and keeping the Falcons in these games. I really thought they were going to win last week. It makes no sense that the Jets won, but it is what it is. That was the one game I pretty much was wrong about last week, but, whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to go Falcons to cover, Seattle to win. Seattle's offense, I'm not confident. They're just going to pick it right back up. Their defense should look good against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense has been doing good this year, so I think, that helps my case that Seattle's offense might not put up too many points. I think it might be like a 28-23 game, 28 to or 27. I don't think any team's getting over 30 points. So I think they'll both be in the 20s, and hopefully it's not 28-20. I think Falcons should get this cover. And let's get to the next game. Like I said, I got so much more written on these games. I got a bunch written for every single game, but I'm going to speed through it so we don't have a long video this week. At least you're getting my picks. That's what really matters. Just know that I put a lot of thought into each and every one of these picks, and I'll let you know if I'm not feeling too confident or not. And that's all that should really matter, and then I'll give you my favorite key points. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are minus 5.5. I'm going to have to go with the Baltimore Ravens here to win and to cover. It would make things a lot more interesting. That division's tight. Steelers are falling off. They never really looked that good all year. Their offense has been scoring points, but they just don't look like they got rhythm, like they got mojo. Like, it just all looks like they're just holding it together on offense. Rodgers isn't. He's known for his deep balls. He's not throwing any deep or completing any deep throws this year. At least doesn't look like him and his receivers have any chemistry. Uh, Everyone's talking about Tomlin or Harbaugh getting fired after this game if they lose. That's not going to happen, especially with as tight as this division is. No matter who loses, no one's getting fired this game. So that's not even in my mind for this pick. That's just all outside talk. Um, let's see if I got anything else. Rodgers is looking good this year, but so is the Ravens defense. Ravens defense gave up a lot of points last week, but that's because what did they turn the ball over 5 times against the Bengals, a team they should have obliterated in my opinion, but you turn the ball over 5 times. The Bengals had their first good defensive game all year. That's definitely not a trend for the Bengals, but yeah, I don't know. I think Baltimore should have this game. Everyone's talking down on Baltimore when they just gave up a 5-game winning streak. They lost their first in 5 weeks. Cut them some slack. They still got right back into the division race. That's all they were really trying to accomplish, I feel like. And now they're back in it. So that loss doesn't matter to them as much as the whole world is making it out to be. Steelers, on the other hand, that loss was a big deal. They had this division in the bag, and they've been letting it slip the past, 6 weeks. Their offense doesn't look that functional. Neither does the Ravens. Right now, Paul Crew, a.k.a. Lamar Jackson, it seems like he's thrown these games. Some of those fumbles and turnovers, it was like you could have held on to that. You didn't have to, but they should clean it up this week. Derrick Henry should get the ball more than 10 times and run all over the Steelers defense that just gave up, let the Bengals have a pretty good running game. And, Bengals, their run game hasn't been anything this year, and neither has the Steelers. I think Baltimore Ravens get back to looking good on defense. They looked good last week, but they'll get back to not giving up a lot of points because their offense won't be turning the ball over like crazy. Yeah, it's going to be a tight game. This game's always tough. It's always close, or one team always. It's very rare that one of these teams blow the other one out by double digits, but I'm going to go with Baltimore Ravens. I think they can win by 6 or more easy. Just got to hope they don't turn the ball over a lot. That's really the only thing I'm worried about. Are they going to continue to turn the ball over and not do anything on offense? Give the ball to Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson, start scrambling more like he used to. But yeah, this is Baltimore's spot to take the division, so I do believe they're going to do that. I do have Steelers winning in a future bet the division. That could still happen, but I believe this particular week Baltimore will lead the division, and hopefully Steelers regain it later. But that's for later. Right now we're just worrying about this week. Let's go Baltimore to win and to cover the 5.5. And I believe this game goes under. I think it'll be a low-scoring game because both these offenses have been very underwhelming. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. This is the first game of the week that I'm not too sure about. I might switch, but I'm feeling pretty confident about the Tennessee Titans covering the spread. The spread, I forgot to mention, is 3.5. Tennessee's getting 3.5 plus 3.5. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. I think Shador is getting a lot of hype. He's won a game, all that, but he hasn't looked to me that great in any of the games. Not like he's picking apart or figuring out defenses. It's going to be a rookie battle, a rookie matchup. I think it might be a fun game to watch. The battle of the rookie quarterbacks. Cam Ward and the Titans, though, they haven't been able to score more than 2 touchdowns all year. 2 touchdowns is what they max out at, unless you count their one win against the Cardinals, which I've said this in all my videos. The Cardinals gave them their 3rd touchdown that game. If the defense fumbles the ball and then the offense recovers it in the end zone, they're technically defense at that point, you know what I mean? But anyway, I feel like it's just going to be a close, tight game. I don't have faith in any of these offenses. It's not going to be a blowout. Maybe Browns win by 7, 8, or yeah, I think it'll stay within. It'll be a sweat all game, no matter who you pick, because it's gonna stay within that one possession where one team's gonna have to get a touchdown to switch who's covering or not. But I do think Browns win this game. It'll look better if Sanders gets this win, and but Titans are gonna keep it close. The Browns defense is pretty good, but that's mainly the highlight right now. Who's under the microscope is Myles Garrett. Garrett is gonna break the sack record this year, but he's not gonna do it too early. The anticipation's got to build a little bit, so I believe he might, just like last week. I said this last week. He'll probably get a sack this game, even though Ward is the most sacked quarterback. I think it's like 47 times. I have that written down somewhere. But yeah, it's like 48, 49 times he got sacked. It's easy to bring him down, so Myles Garrett could break the... Everybody's probably thinking that he's going to break the record or bring it within one, or at least tie it this week. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he gets 1, maybe 2 sacks, and it shouldn't make that big of a difference for the spread. It'll be a low scoring, probably low offensive game. It's definitely going under 33.5. That's the total score. Nobody thinks anyone's going to score this game. I think it'll go under 33.5. Tennessee Titans to cover the 3.5. That's what I'm picking. Might switch this game. Pay attention to my short on Sunday morning, where I will have all my official final picks. Because I don't want any of these numbers. Anybody thinking I'm lying about my numbers. I'm doing good against the spread this year, and I haven't really switched a lot of picks this year. So anyway, next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This might be the game of the week. Jacksonville Jaguars are plus 1.5 at home. That makes me a little bit nervous, since Jacksonville's been looking a lot better the past 4 weeks, and Indianapolis has been falling off a cliff the last 4 weeks. They can't get a win anymore. They're saying Jones is playing on an injured fibula, and for all those reasons, I think I got to go Jacksonville to win and to cover the spread. I do have Jacksonville winning the division in the future bet ticket that I have. By the way, that ticket's all the division winners, and right now everybody's leading the division that I have winning their division. So ticket's looking pretty good, even though I think Steelers are going to lose that spot this week, but that ticket's looking fire. Anyway, that ticket's going to go down in the last week, I believe. But anyway, let's get back to this. If you want to know all my bets, since we are only 23 wins, 23 losses against the spread this year, I am up money. We're up almost 30%. We went on a little bit of a losing streak, but we're back up to 30%, and I want to post all my picks. I want to post my over-unders, my player props, my parlays, my lottery ticket parlays, all that, but I need 100 subscribers, so let's get to 100 subscribers. We're at 71 right now. We're almost there, so I have a good feeling by next year I'll be posting way more content, way more picks. That's way more money, so let's do it. Let's win this money together. We could all be up almost 30% this year. 25%, but I have a good feeling after this week we'll be up 30%. Anyway, yeah, I think Jacksonville is going to continue to play good on offense. The teams found out the key is stopping Jonathan Taylor, and Jacksonville is one of the best teams stopping the run this year. So I think they're going to do that. Daniel Jones, they might make it a close game, a tight game, but I think Jacksonville should come out with the win. They will play each other again. That's in like a week or two, and that's like 2 or 3 weeks, and that's what I don't like about this year. I noticed a lot of schedules towards the end of the year have teams playing each other within 4 weeks of they're playing 2 times within 4 weeks, and I don't like that. That's kind of like, I guess it makes the end of the year super exciting, but yeah, I'd rather those games be spread out a little bit more. It makes for much easier picking. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I still think Indianapolis has a great offense, a lot of weapons, and they could win this game. This game's a coin flip for me, but I'm gonna lock in with Jacksonville because I've had a good feeling about them all year, and I want to ride that wave. Because if I had a prediction at the beginning of the year that's looking good, I'm gonna keep riding that prediction no matter how bad or how you know it might look. But I'm gonna do that. Don't really got too much more I want to add to this game. Um, so let's just get to the next game. I'm try to end this video in 10 minutes. Let's see if I can do it, and that'll give me time to place a bet for tonight's game. Um, Next game, we got the Washington Commanders at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are plus half a point, but that line's moved. Now they're minus 1.5. But we got Washington at minus a half a point. So it's a pick 'em this game is. I'm going to go with Washington to win and to cover. Not too much to add about this other than like McCarthy should be a step up. But no matter what quarterback the Vikings put in, this offense just looks horrible and frustrated. They can't get anything together. They are at home, so maybe the home crowd gives them a little bit of a boost. But I don't ever put home. I don't try to worry about if a team's at home or not. That doesn't really matter to me. Teams want to win, no matter where they're playing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Washington here. They just look a lot better on offense, functional. They're still trying to win games. They've had a lot of close games this year. They lost. Minnesota's just looked garbage. And if Minnesota doesn't cover this game, I believe that'll be 5 straight. I did write how many they haven't covered since they beat the Lions. So I don't think I wrote that. But Jaden Daniels is saying he might want to play. If he plays, I'm definitely picking Washington for sure. And Mariota hasn't looked that bad. I liked how they were saying his name on, what was that, Sunday Night Football. Mariota. They were saying it wrong all these years, and now they got it right, I guess. But they really were putting a lot of emphasis on the ta. That's all I'm saying. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, let's go Washington to win and to cover this. Vikings just look too bad, and if Vikings don't cover this game, I'm probably most certainly picking them to cover next week because I believe that'll be 5 in a row. My handwriting's too small, and I'm not going to find it in like 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm not even reading the right game, so that's what we're going with. Let's go Washington. I'm a little nervous about that because Minnesota is due to, cover, spread, win a game, but I'm going Washington. Washington is 2. Minnesota's on what? A 4-game losing streak. Washington's on a 7-game losing streak. So, and Washington, I believe, is a better team, so I feel like they're more due to get a win, and this is a pick-em game for me. So let's go Washington to win and to cover. I do believe it's going to go under, too, because Vikings, I can't count on them to score, even though they got good pieces on offense. So that's another thing that makes me nervous. They got playmakers, really only Jefferson, and they can't get him the ball, so Washington should be the easy pick here. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Jets are plus 2.5. This seems like a game the Jets should cover, but I'm going to go with Miami Dolphins here to win and to cover the minus 2.5. Tua Tagovailoa, he's a turnover machine, and the Jets have no interceptions this year, so that makes me extremely nervous about this game. That Tua is going to give the Jets 1, 2, maybe 3 interceptions. I feel like this is the game that the Jets get their interception for sure. If you can bet that the Jets get an interception this game, I would do that. I just got a really good feeling because Tua will make sure they get at least 1 interception this year. If any quarterback will do it, it'll be Tua. But even if he throws that pick or 2, I still think Miami could pull this off and win by the field goal. They want to win. They still got slight playoff chances. They're in the hunt. So just like last week, I believe the Jets have no business winning this game. But they won last week, so that makes me a little bit nervous. That does make me feel a little bit better about picking the Dolphins because I think the Jets have covered too much for what their record is. Uh, they got to blow a couple covers before this year's over. Um, and their defense is still giving up a lot of points. The Dolphins are still able to score on offense with all those key pieces missing. Um, they got Waller back. You know, he was looking good before he got injured, like one of Tua's favorite targets. So yeah, I think Dolphins got this. It should be an easy cover. I am nervous though because of the cold weather, and that seems to be a thing with Tua. He can't play in the cold. That's really the only thing making me nervous about this game, and for that I can't put money on it. But I am feeling really confident about the Miami Dolphins covering this game. Jets have no business staying in it. Miami wants to win. They still got a chance, so they're gonna play. And the Jets, they love to play spoiler, I guess, but they're the Jets, you know. Um, they'll probably still have a 4 or 5 win year, but it ain't gonna be this week. They ain't winning this week. Next game, so I'm going with Miami to cover the 2.5, -2.5 at Jets. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks are -8.5. That seems like a lot, but I do think this is the week the Bucks offense looks like a high-powered offense again. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks to win and the Bucks to cover the -8.5. I think the Bucks, they really need this win. They got the Panthers nipping at their toes or heels, whatever. And yeah, they just need to win this game. I think Baker Mayfield's. We're gonna see the return of the gunslinger. I haven't said that Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger in a while. I think this is the week he looks like a gunslinger again. Mike Evans might come back, so there's another injury watch. I'm gonna monitor that injury. He was limited in practice, I think, so it seems like he should be able to play this week. But maybe they're babying him back into it. Who knows? Like, they baby these football players too much these days. So we'll see what happens with that. The Saints, they can't score on offense. Suge looks pretty good, but, you know, he looks like a really good backup quarterback. He shouldn't be starting. Not yet, anyway. He's not looking terrible. But they're not winning games. It's just like with Rattler. They're looking okay, decent, like maybe they could put stuff together, but I think Buccaneers, they have the Saints team down. Last time they played this year, what did the Bucks win? 23-3. I believe they win this like 23-13 or something. You know, like they should cover this 8.5 points. I'm feeling pretty confident about the Bucks, but I'm not putting my money on it just because I want to see them look good again. Even though I'm feeling really good, this is the week that happens. Yeah, and by the way, I've only picked 2 Saints games wrong this year against the spread. So that's out of 12 games. I'm 10 for 12. I'm at 83% on Saints games. Let's hope I get another one right here. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, we've been on the decline. I've got 5 straight Tampa Bay games wrong. So hopefully, I'm feeling good about this. Hopefully this is the one, right? I can't get 6 straight wrong. That's hard to do. So let's go Tampa Bay to win in the cover. I think Baker Mayfield becomes a gunslinger again. Saints D has been playing decent. A lot better than what it looks like because the offense sets them up so many times, and I believe that can still happen. The Saints offense could still set up that defense, and the Bucks just run over them. So, nervous, tiny bit about that game, but feeling confident. Let's go Baker Mayfield. Let's get back to that beginning of the year form and start looking like MVP again. You ain't gonna get that award now, but let's return to that form. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Buffalo Bills. Bills are -5.5, and this is my first money pick of the week. Last year, a lot of my money picks were for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm feeling that again this year. It looks like the same old story for the Bengals, just like I was saying for the Cowboys. They got the same old script this year. Bad start, injuries, and now all of a sudden their division is shitty enough where they have a chance, and they're going to keep playing like they want to make the playoffs because they could. They have a realistic chance. The Steelers and the Ravens both look like shite. And out of all their offenses, the Bengals' offense has looked better than both of them. So now, hopefully, if this defense can keep it together, I doubt they get 5 turnovers this week. But I'm also not too sold on the Buffalo Bills offense. They looked good last week, but that was against the Steelers. Steelers' defense has been shaky all year. And their offense did nothing to help them out, just like all year. So yeah, I got a feeling Cincinnati, they're gonna play hard. I don't know if they're gonna win this game. I got the Bills to win, Cincinnati to cover the 5.5, and I'm putting my money on that spread. I think Cincinnati should keep this close. I think there might be a couple times in this game where they're leading. It might be a back and forth type of thing. I think their defense is still ass. I don't think like they got a new because of last week. Like those turnovers were all the Baltimore Ravens just playing dumb. So, yeah, I think it'll be a very high-scoring game. I think Bills' offense, I'm not sold on it, but they are playing a bad defense. But I think the Bengals' offense is a lot better. Bills' defense isn't all that great. I don't think Bosa's playing. That's more injuries we're going to have to look into, like Higgins. I think Higgins will play, though. He was practicing. And there might be some other injuries here. What did I write? Check Kincaid? Oh, Kincaid. Yes, Kincaid might not play either. And if Kincaid doesn't play, I feel a lot better about this pick. I don't know what it is, but that Bills offense just hasn't operated the same without him. So they might have looked pretty good against the Steelers, but I'm not completely sold on that performance. They ran 2 run plays like all freaking game. It wasn't really a lot of Josh Allen passing the ball, and those 2 run plays, they were able to get away with it all game. So I really think the Bills, them putting up all those points was really because the Steelers can't play defense this year. Like, how do you let this give up that same play that many times and not find a way to stop it? You're professionals. And it was nothing like, it was no like wildcat out of nowhere. It was a basic run off to the right, bounce out to the right type of play. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not too sold on the Bills offense after that performance. And let's go Cincinnati. I'm feeling good about this one. To cover, there's even a chance they win this game. That would make things way more exciting. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna change that actually. Cincinnati's going to win this game. Let me switch it on my paper before I forget. Cincinnati to win. Cincinnati to cover. I got my money on it. Next game. And that's going over 53.5 for sure. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, since I was running short on time, I wrote absolutely nothing for this game. Look at all that blank space. But I will at least give you guys my lean. This could be another game. This is the second game of the week where I'm thinking I might switch it. I'm not feeling super confident. But right now, I'm just going to lean Raiders to cover. New offensive coordinator. They definitely looked better on offense last week. Chip Kelly sucks. I can't believe he was even still in the league coaching. After that Eagles fiasco, like, we all knew he should have stayed in college. But, yeah, I'll just say that. I'll give you my lean. Raiders to cover, Broncos to win. A lot of Broncos games are close. Raiders offense did look a little better, and they don't have Chip Kelly like they did against Broncos. Broncos offense isn't, or the first time they played Broncos offense isn't all that special, and I've been saying that all year, and I still agree with that. Their defense, I think, is slightly overrated, but they're still good defense. They get a lot of sacks. They'll get after Geno for sure. I think it'll be another low-scoring game, though. But Raiders' offense looks better this time around than they did the first time they played the Broncos. Might switch that game. Make sure you stay tuned to my Sunday shorts on before Sunday. I got over 1,800 views on my last short. That's the most views I've ever gotten ever by far. I hope that's a trend towards something good. We can build this channel, right? Next game, we got the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. Packers are minus 6.5. This is a game I wanted to put my money on, but I'm going to take it easy. I want to build a nice little money streak like I did last year. And like I said, this is the last week with buys, so I'm going to take it easy. Only 2 money picks this week. Money pick coming up next game. Stay tuned. But Chicago Bears at Green Bay Packers, I'm feeling really confident that Green Bay covers this 6.5 points. Chicago's covered a crap ton of games in a row. You can even count the game against Pittsburgh. Green Bay, this is my worst team I've picked all year, so that's one of the reasons why I can't put money on this. But I felt good about I just really feel good about Green Bay. Their offense has been putting up points all year. There's really only 3 games this year where they've played underwhelming on offense. And everybody's been waiting for Chicago's to get a loss, saying this defense, they're just getting lucky with turnovers and shit. And I somewhat agree. I don't think it's luck. But I do think there's got to be a game where their defense just doesn't get those turnovers. And this might be the game. And Green Bay, their offense has been looking really good. Chicago's offense has been looking really good, but Green Bay's defense is one of the best at stopping the run, and they can definitely stop. There's also a lot of injuries in this game to look forward to, but Swift and Monunga, if you stop them, which I think will be Green Bay's game plan, stop those running backs. Because Williams hasn't had to run pass the ball that much because their running game is like the second best in the league right now. They get more rushing yards than anybody, but their rushing attack is a little banged up with Monungai. I don't think he's practiced yet, so I gotta keep watch on that injury. That makes this game hard to pick, of course, but I think Green Bay can stop that run game, and we might see Williams make a couple bad throws. I think he's made plenty of bad throws this year where they're just off target and they've been fortunate enough to not be turnovers. But Green Bay's defense has been stepping it up, playing a lot better since they got out of the bye and all that. And, I think this is the game that Chicago finally loses, and that plus 6.5 just seems like, if this is the game they lose, it should at least be close. So Chicago's the easy pick. It should be a no sweater. And that's exactly why I'm picking the Green Bay Packers and feel confident about that. I kind of feel like this spread's a little bit of a trap. Chicago shouldn't be getting this many points. I thought that a lot with Chicago, where they shouldn't be getting a lot of points, and they ended up covering. So, maybe I'm wrong again. For that reason, I can't put my money on it. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Rams are minus 8.5. I got my money on the Rams. I'm feeling confident they bounce back. They put up 28 points last week, even though they had all those turnovers. I had a feeling Stafford was due to throw a pick. I didn't think it was going to be 3. And they still almost won that game. So, didn't get anywhere close to covering. I had the Panthers to cover last week. Felt a little nervous, but as that game went on, felt like a genius. So, hopefully I feel like a genius again for this pick. I think the Rams should blow out this Cardinals. The Cardinals, it's about time that Brissett has an underwhelming game, under 250 yards. He's been throwing over 40 passes the past 4 games. His arm's got to be tired. He's got to be due for some turnovers. The more he throws it, the more likely he's going to be to turn it over. They don't really have a run game in Arizona anymore. I've said it ever since he got injured, and I'm going to continue to say it today. This Arizona offense doesn't operate without James Conner. Now they got Brissett. At least Brissett can manage the game. Brissett can sling it. He's inaccurate. He's a good quarterback. But I think this game might get a little out of hand, and we'll start to see some turnovers. Harrison's back. He was looking good. But this Rams defense, they're going to be locked in. The offense is going to be locked in. As good as the Rams are this year, as good as their record is, this is a must-win for them. And this is their second away game. I'm pretty sure like that's a big motivator right there. They're going to want to get a win before they have to fly back home and get ready to play, I think, the Lions. So, I think a win is a priority here for them. That division is tight. Them, the Niners, and the Seahawks all at 9 wins. I might have said it earlier in the year, but I had a feeling the division was going to come down to those 3 teams being tight, and that makes it kind of hard to pick these games because which one of those 3 are going to win the division now. It's kind of like, I think it's going to be the Rams. I got them in my ticket to win the division, so I'm feeling really good. Stafford should have a lot better game, have a great recovery after his shit performance last week. Rams have a top 3 offense, if not the best offense. So it's hard to, I can't count on Brissett to have another amazing 300-plus yard game, 40-plus passes thrown. I can depend on the 40-plus passes thrown, but to be another good game, like we know Brissett, he's been in this league long enough where he's gonna have great games. I knew that was gonna come. I knew he was gonna have these good games. I knew he was the better option than Murray. That was easy, but he's still a backup. I don't think he's starting for a team next year, and he's gonna have some dud games, and I believe one's coming up. Let's go Rams. Get this cover, baby. Blow out. Look dominant again. They should put up 30-plus points. I don't think they're going to be turning the ball over like crazy. And even if they do, we know they could still stay in the game and cover the spread. Next games, Sunday night and Monday night. I never have anything. I got plenty of time to think of these games. So I'm just going to give you my leans real quick, and let's end this video. We got the Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 3.5. It's do or die mode here for the Chiefs. They lose this game, they're probably out of the playoffs. If Houston loses this game, they'll still have a chance to make the playoffs. I believe they're 1 or 2 games back. Right? Do they have 7 wins or 6? Fuck. But they'll still have a chance. Their division will be pretty tight till the end of the year, I believe, with Houston, Colts, and Jags. But Kansas City, this is do or die mode for them, and this is the last time I feel like this is like, how many times have they been favorites? And every week I'm like, they shouldn't be favored, and I picked the Chiefs because of that reason, and I ended up regretting it. And this is the same, more of the same. I'm looking at this like they shouldn't be favored, at least by 3 in the hook. That hook scares me, but I believe Kansas City will win this game. Do or die mode. I don't believe we count Kansas City out with 4 weeks to go in the season. They should be talked about till at least the second or the last week, or maybe they'll make the playoffs. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. It's the Chiefs. Yeah. So I'm feeling the Chiefs right now. Houston's got the best defense, but yeah, Kansas City also has a good defense and a good offense. They're just not winning their games, and this has got to be a game they win. I think their offense should be more productive, even though they're going against the number 1 defense. This offense should be more productive than the Houston's offense, and that's what makes me confident in the Chiefs. I believe they should get a good game plan going. They got the mastermind coaches over there in Kansas City, So let's see what they do with their backs against the wall. Let's see if they lay it all on the table, and let's see what happens. That's what I got. Not my money on, but I'm locking in the Chiefs. -3.5. Last game, Monday night, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are +2.5. This is another game I might switch. It is Monday night, but right now I am feeling the Philadelphia Eagles to win in the cover this game. Um, you know, more of the same. I'm going to say this real quick. I don't got too much on this game, but I just think the Eagles, Super Bowl defending champs, they still have a lot of those key pieces, pretty much the same team. They just got to pull together. They got an itis or something going on, or maybe all of last year was a fluke. I don't think so. This offense should be high powered. Barkley with the Madden curse, I do believe that plays a big part. I've always believed in the Madden curse. But yeah, this should be a game. Chargers getting points at home. It's tempting to take them, especially with how bad Philadelphia's looked on offense. But their defense is still top tier. Chargers still got a good defense. But I got an odd feeling Philadelphia's offense looks good, and they could put plays together and drives together this game. And the Chargers, they've showed it a few times this year, towards the beginning of the year, towards the middle of the year, and even towards now, the endish of the year. They have games where they fall flat. Not too long ago, they only scored one touchdown against the Jags and couldn't do anything else the rest of the game. So that's what also makes me feel better going back to my Jags picks. They beat good teams this year in tough situations. So, but yeah, I believe Philadelphia. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia to win and to cover this game. And then Chargers, it depends. I might switch this pick because depending on who wins and who loses throughout the rest of the week, I'm kind of glad this game's on Monday. That'll make it a lot easier for me to pick. So if I switch that, you'll know. I'll post a short. Look for my shorts before the Monday kickoff. But if I switch this game, there'll be a short. If not, I'm sticking with the Eagles to win and cover. So that's my pick. If you stuck around this long, you are a true Schmidt head. Sorry this video still is going to reach 50 minutes, but it is what it is. I put a lot of thought in these games and all that. Please please comment. I want some more people comment and tell me if I'm wrong or right and what they think. I want to hear some more analysis from you guys. I want us all to win together. That's what it is. I don't want us, it's not a competition of who's right and wrong. I want us all to be right. That's the goal here. That's the goal on this channel, for us all to win together. So if there's like, yo, bro, I can't believe you're putting that money on that game and give me a stat that I didn't see, please help me out. We're getting towards the end of the year. I got 102 wins against the spread. I am in a pick'em league where I'm in second place, only down 5 picks from first. First place has 107 wins. He should have a YouTube channel, or she. But I got 5 weeks to come back from 5 picks, and that's very doable, especially with the last 4 being full slate weeks. I'm feeling confident that I can pull it off and get first place. I always finish in the top 5 in this league every year, and that's why I'm making these videos, because I do good in this league every year, so I know I'm good against the spread. And I was like, let's make a video, let's make a channel, and get some subscribers. And I've been building a little bit this year, and it's making me confident, so thanks a lot for that. If you stuck around this long, you're a true Schmidt head. I said that already, but peace.